Hi guys, welcome to another video from Somebody Else's Angel. I'm Rick and I'm here in the garden of Cozy Cottage to talk to you today about, this is a big one, universal laws. Okay, there's lots, well, a few. In nature and in the universe, there are certain ways and things that are just the way they are. They're standard basic laws that govern everything. You have to forgive me again. I'm just going to quickly say that none of this is rehearsed. I kind of know what I want to talk about, but none of it's scripted, none of it's rehearsed. It's knowledge that I've gained, and I've asked the divine intelligence, or whatever you want to call it, to help me to express in words the information that I need to get across. Okay, so you know, please forgive me. I'm just a normal bloke. I'm not a professional speaker. I'm not somebody who's spent his life training and you know, and for this I've struggled and I've managed to overcome some things, and I want to share that with you. So today we're talking about the universal law of take and give. It's not give and take, it's receive and flow through and give. Probably not putting that the best. Let me explain. In nature, there's a law of take and give, if you like. So as human beings, we breathe oxygen. Okay, we take in oxygen. We use that oxygen in all sorts of different ways in our body, and we give out carbon dioxide, and we do that every minute of every day. Subconsciously, it's not something that we go, oh, I must breathe and I must, like, we should focus on our breath a bit more, but we generally don't. It's just an automatic thing. So we take in oxygen, we give out carbon dioxide. Okay, that's a process, a flow, a universal flow. It works. So we give out this carbon dioxide, and don't let these, I'm gonna swear, sorry, it's coming, fuckwits, sorry, but don't let these fuckwits tell you that carbon dioxide is a bad thing. Carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, oh my God, we're destroying the planet. You are not destroying the planet through carbon dioxide. It's bullshit. Total and utter bullshit. There's something like 0.4% carbon dioxide in the air we breathe. It's not a lot anyway. I don't know the figures. I'm not a scientist, and I don't really care, to be honest. Nitrogen is the biggest percentage, then oxygen, and then there's some other stuff, some inert gases and everything. And carbon dioxide is a very, very small proportion of the air that is around us. Okay. If we cut carbon dioxide, we're effectively destroying the planet, because plants and trees need carbon dioxide to breathe. They breathe carbon dioxide. The more carbon dioxide there is, the more plants there'll be. The bigger, the stronger the plants will be. Okay, the trees will grow taller and they'll put out more oxygen. They'll put out more oxygen. We get oxygen to breathe. We breathe out carbon dioxide. We feed the plants and the trees. They grow. Universal law. Okay? That's just how it is. It's a basic universal law of flow. And if you start messing with that, then you get the imbalances. Then you start to get stuff going wrong. All mammals breathe oxygen, and they give out carbon dioxide. That's how nature wants it. Nature needs carbon dioxide. The trees and the plants need carbon dioxide. Okay? And it all, providing you don't start cutting down all the trees, in which case you probably need more carbon dioxide, because the trees that are left will need more carbon dioxide to breathe and to grow and to reproduce, and etc, etc. So we're back to that thing. It's a universal law. Okay, so in nature it works, and there's lots of these laws in nature. Like a plant will take rain and sunshine and it will give flowers which feed the bees and everything, but even when the plant dies, it composts down and it feeds the earth, and so there's a give and take. Things take and they give, and like I say, it all works. Now, as human beings, we've gone a bit wonky with this, and in our everyday lives, generally there can be quite a big imbalance with this take and give thing. So let's use an example of a job. You're paid to do a job, okay? You're taking money to do a job, but you're a lazy shit. And you don't really want to do the job, but you take the money anyway. And you turn up at work, you do the absolute bare minimum that you can possibly do, if nothing at all. Maybe you take home some stock or some toilet rolls or whatever, because you feel that that's, you know, you are entitled to all this stuff, and you don't really have to give anything in return. You're just going to take whatever you can. Now, I'm not saying that you're a bad person for doing that, but it's not the right thing to do. You're messing with universal laws of flow, and because you're messing with that flow, you're experiencing lots of different feelings and stuff. When you look in the mirror, deep down you know that you're not a nice person. You know that you're taking something without giving in return. And it affects you. It affects your self-esteem. It affects your integrity. It affects your self-worth. So one of the most practical and positive things we can do as human beings to improve ourselves and to improve our physical well-being and our mental well-being is to understand this flow and to start to work in harmony with it. When you go to work, do the best job you can possibly do for the money that you're being paid. All right, if somebody says to you, I want you to chop down 15 trees and I'm going to give you £1 for doing it, you have a choice. You have a choice to say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not working that hard for £1, because they're taking from you. They're giving you a very small amount and they're taking a huge amount from you. So that's not right. So it's finding that balance, and so you need to, but do the best job you can do. And if you're not being paid your worth, don't lower yourself to their level and go, all right, I'm doing a £200 a week job, which I'm doing the work of £500 a week. Don't bring yourself down. Leave the job. Go and find another job. Okay? Go and find something that you really enjoy doing. One of the flows, one of the ways to balance this flow is to be in a job that you would do for nothing. You would do for free, but you're getting paid for it. Now, a classic example of this is my partner used to work with a girl whose partner played with train sets all day and wrote about it. He was an editor for a train, a model train set magazine-y thing. So effectively, because he loved playing with trains and train sets and things, he'd managed to find a job where he was being paid to do something he would do for nothing anyway. He'd do as a hobby. Like it's like, oh my God. Now he's in the flow there, definitely in the flow. He's being paid to do something that he would do for nothing, that he absolutely loves and enjoys. Brilliant. That's the way to do it. So if you're in a job that is making you miserable or sad, or, you know, that environment, and I've done another video about environment and changing your environment. If you're in a bad environment in a job, change the job. There's not, I know, when you start changing your mindset and believing that things are possible, it opens up so many doors. At the moment, you might go, well, there's no jobs out there. I'd like to do this, but there's no jobs. There bloody well is. You just need to create it. People are being paid for the most random, ridiculous, stupid things. I saw on the TV the other day, some guy was being paid to give dogs swimming lessons. And he was earning a really good living at giving like swimming lessons for dogs. I mean, my God. Brilliant. He's doing something he loves and he's being paid for it. You know, so the possibilities are there, but you have to decide, you have to believe, you have to achieve, you have to receive. Another video. Okay. So if you're in this job and you're taking more than you're giving, you're going to cause yourself illnesses and physical problems and problems with your self-worth and your belief system and your philosophy of life. Unless, of course, you think it's the best thing ever and that it's absolutely fantastic and you're just going to scam everybody and go through life doing this. But sooner or later, it'll catch up with you. This law of flow, this law of give and receive, given and take and everything, it's a karmic law. It's a law governed by karma. So if you're not in this flow, karma will get you. It will. Bad people out there, I mean, some of the worst people on the planet, I can't believe they're breezing through life doing the things they're doing, thinking that there's no consequence for that. Oh, there's a consequence. It may not be in this lifetime, but bugger me, it's going to come back and it's going to get them. You know, they'll be floating up there as some eternal soul and they'll be tortured and you know, because it's going to have to. This karmic law can't be messed with. So we need to work within it. Okay. So one of the other, I know this from experience. I truly believe that my physical health, my problems, my mental health have partly been caused or made worse by the way I was. As a young child, I didn't feel as though I received an awful lot of love. And so I grew up wanting love from wherever I could get it, from anyone and anything. So I would take as much love as I could possibly get. But because I was fearful and because I was insecure and I didn't have tools and resources back then and I'd been influenced, I didn't give out an awful lot of love. Now, you can't really expect to receive unconditional love from everywhere if you're giving nothing out. If you're not willing to give out that love, you're not going to attract it. And that affected me deeply. That really did affect me deeply. The fact that I would demand unconditional love from people and yet not want to give anything back. And I do genuinely feel as though that affected me physically and mentally. It was one of the biggest problems that I've had to overcome. Being selfish is something else that works on that basis. So I remember as a kid, I was about 12 years old. Me and two friends were out and we were walking through this little village. We used to spend an awful lot of time in the countryside. Excuse me. And we were walking through this village and I saw a £1 note. I mean, I know, £1 notes, wow. How old are you really? Well, I'm very old. So this was back in if I was 12, about 1979. Long time ago. And I found a £1 note on the floor. So I picked it up. And I looked and there was another £1 note and I picked it up. And then there was another £1 note and I picked it up. And I had £3 notes. Like, as a kid, 12-year-old kid back then, £3 was huge money. I mean, it was huge money. Now, the two friends that I were with, they were a bit slow. They didn't see it. They didn't get to it. I got to it. Okay. Now, I'm not proud of what I did, but this was how I was. I was a very selfish young boy, very closed, had my walls up, and very like, so I kept the £3. And they're like, oh, but, and I'm like, I found it, I'm keeping it. Okay. So I kept the £3. Now, what I should have done was go, right, okay, we've got £3, that's £1 each. Wow, what a fantastic day. Let's go and buy some sweets and spend it, and let's enjoy that money together. Let's enjoy this experience together. Let's share this experience. I was gifted something. I should have then shared it, and I didn't. Now, at the time, nothing bad happened to me, and you know, it's like, but it did affect me internally, and it's not always immediate. It's, you know, maybe 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the line that you go, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I was that selfish. I was given a wonderful gift out of the blue, and and I kept it to myself. And a lot of my life has been that way. So I'm talking from experience, this flow, this being in harmony with the karmic law of the universe. Let me just explain a bit about why these laws work. Everything in the universe is energy. Electrical energy, intelligent energy, but everything in the universe is energy. Okay. Down at the very, very smallest level in atoms, there is there is energy. So let's say, for instance, I was holding up a grape or a pebble or something, and that was the nucleus of an atom. Given the size of the pebble, the circumference of the atom, the outside of the atom, would be around about 2 kilometers all around me. Massive amount of space in an atom. But it's not empty space. That space is full of intelligent energy. And the way atoms work is that you get different types of atom. Well, right. They're probably all the same atom, but the energy inside changes. So you get atoms of gold. So the energy inside decides that it's going to be an atom, a gold atom. And then it attracts other gold atoms to form a chunk of gold. They all come together. They're all attracted by this intelligent energy inside. And it works with our bodies. We are literally just a load of atoms all like attracted together. And this energy is in everything. Absolutely everything, and it's intelligent. Okay, so we connect to this energy, and we connect through to this energy through thought, persistent thought, and feelings. That's the way that we magnetize ourselves to this energy. Now, if we're thinking bad things and feeling bad things, or we're feeling depressed and angry and anxious and that, we attract more of those of that energy to us. It's the only way I can explain it, and I'm probably not explaining it very well, but this intelligent energy is attracted to us, and it brings us experiences, physical things, people, because we're attracting it like a magnet. We're sending out these thoughts and feelings, the electrical energy around us in the atoms and in the universe, a bit like a radio, I suppose, or you know, it's picking up on our messages, and then all them atoms that are aligned with that, our message, all club together, and they all manifest themselves into a physical thing. If you know that, then you have the ability then to change the way you think and the way you feel. And we can change the way we think and the way we feel by loads of different processes, and there's videos and stuff. When we think a thought and we write it down on a bit of paper, we've created a physical representation of that thought. We brought that thought into physical reality by writing it down. Then if we screw it up and throw it in the bin, we've sent a physical message to that intelligent energy that we no longer want those thoughts. We no longer want those negative feelings and things. Very, very simple, massive effect, because you're actually physically sending out different messages. And when you start changing the messages and the thoughts and the feelings that you're sending out, things happen. They do. You start to attract different things. Maybe you attract videos like this. Maybe it just suddenly pops up and you go, oh, what's this bloke talking about? I'll watch it. Maybe I'm not explaining it right. I read the book on Einstein's life. Really hard book to read, very academic, but very interesting. Now, Einstein didn't think up his most wonderful and fantastic and groundbreaking ideas by sitting in a room with a blackboard and actually actively sitting there going like, give me these things, give me these, like I need a genius idea. That didn't happen. What he used to do was he had a lake near where he lived, and he used to go out 2-3 o'clock in the morning and swim in the moonlight or whatever in this lake. That's when he got the ideas. That's when stuff started coming through, when he was at peace, when his brain had shut down and he wasn't fighting with all the stuff and everything, and he was just, and then he changed his feelings and he changed his thoughts, and then he started to attract this intelligent energy to him, and that's when he started to get his ideas. So when we live in the flow, when we live in harmony with the karmic laws of the universe, things really, really do start to happen. Okay, so if you're in a relationship and you're giving so much love to a person and they're taking and they're taking and they're taking, but they're giving nothing back, have a long, hard think about whether that person's right for you, or whether you can change it by communicating with them and saying, look, I'm giving you all this love, but you're closed to me. Would you know, I don't want to let you go, but are you willing to do some work? Are you willing to get some integral eye movement therapy to help you? Are you willing to watch this guy's videos? Are you willing to change the way you are, probably through no fault of their own, through childhood experience, like with myself and stuff, or not? Because if they're not, then you're outside the flow, and you're going to suffer as a result. Now, sometimes things come to us. We don't have to give them back to the person that gave them to us. So let's say we take money from someone for something. An example, okay, when I was homeless, and after, you know, once I started trying to repay all the debt and everything, I was really struggling. So I used the food banks. And I've always, when I've gone to the supermarket, bought a few things and put them into the food bank boxes. I've done that for a long time. And it was really hard for me then to decide to take some of that back. But I'd already given, so what was the harm in then receiving something? So, and it was really difficult for me to accept that I needed the help, to go to these food banks and say, please, will you help me? I can't, you know, I'm trying to pay back all this debt. I'm trying to pay all my bills. I don't have much money. I need to eat. Can you help me? And they did. You know, people are giving to these food banks all the time, and it's a wonderful thing. So I took some stuff from the food banks. I still, when I do the shopping, I buy some stuff and I put it back in there to give it back, to keep that flow, to you know, allow that harmonic flow to stay. But I do believe that I've multiplied many times, though, that kindness, that facility there to feed me, I'm now paying it back by doing these videos and by becoming a different person, and by wanting to go. All these things help. All these things build up. They accumulate within you to change who you are, so that when you look in the mirror, the inner bully, the bully within, can no longer say to you, you're useless, you're rubbish, you're a piece of shit, you're lazy, they can't say that, because you know damn well that that's not true, that you've made some changes, and you may have been like that before, but you're not anymore. You're a different person. And then you can say to that bully, you can go, nah, you're wrong. I'm not. I'm a good person. And I'm a good person because today I did this, yesterday I did that, and the day before I helped someone else. So stay within the harmonic flow. Try and balance. If you're lucky enough to have an excess of something, then pass it on. Try and help someone else. But the best way we can help people is through ourselves, through reaching out and saying, look, I don't know anything about you. I don't know anything about your life. You look like you're struggling. If you are, I'm here. There may be a little old lady living across the road from you, and you've never spoken to her in 30 years of living there. Maybe it's time you did. Maybe it's time you went and knocked on the door and said, I'm going to the shop. Can I bring something back for you? Your garden, your front garden looks a bit untidy. Would it be okay if I cut your grass for you? In return, you can make me a cup of tea and we can have a chat. And you can tell me about your life. We can learn so much from people, young people and old people. It's not just old people that have been through, maybe 2 world wars or so many different hardships. We can learn from young people as well. I learn a lot from my daughters on a daily basis. So stay within the harmonic flow. Try and give as much as you take in any way you can. Keep watching these videos. Keep supporting me. Go to SomebodyElse'sAngel.com or .co.uk. Use some of the resources there. Maybe give if you can. I do need some money personally to live. I have to pay bills and stuff, and you help massively with that. But you can be assured that the money I get will be used as in the best way possible. So I'm going to take the minimum amount that that I need, and the rest will go to helping other people, to create in these spaces, these positive spaces, and all sorts of different things. So you can make a massive difference. And once you're in a better place, once you've done something else, you can become somebody else's angel. You can help people in many different ways, but one of the ways you can help is going to the third portal on the website, which is the IEMT, Integral Eye Movement Therapy Training platform, where you can become a therapist and you can use your life experiences, use those experiences positively. Once you've come through and your life's better and you're in a better place to help other people, because it's a massive it's staying within the harmonic karmic law of take and give. So thank you so much for listening. I'm so proud of you. I really am. I know I say it all the time, but you know what? It's really brave of you. Really brave to recognize that you need help, to recognize and to want to change, to want to make a better life for you and your family and everybody around you and people that you've never met before too. There's people out there waiting for you to help them. And it may not be today or tomorrow. It took me 20 odd years to get to the stage where I'm now actually confident enough in myself to be able to reach out and help other people. But it will come. There are people out there that need you. and you've never met them. You don't know who they are, you don't know what they've been through, but they're there, and sooner or later, possibly later, they'll be brought into your life, and you will help them. You can help them. You can be somebody else's angel. So thank you so much for watching. It's been wonderful to talk to you again today, and really do appreciate you listening to me, to watching these videos, to liking and subscribing. There's a wasp come to sharing the video. Don't know what that's all about, but there's a message there somewhere. But thank you so much, and please take care, keep going, keep drawing a line in the sand, keep dragging yourself across it, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.